friends. Good morning. It's Mrs. Kegler. We're going to read this story today about frogs, and it is a National Geographic for kids. But just by looking at the front cover, I want you to tell me, do you think that this book is a fiction book, or do you think it's a non-fiction book? I want you to come up with your answer right now, and then we're going to keep looking through the book, and then I'm going to ask you again. So think, is this a non-fiction book or a fiction book? All right, so this is the front cover, and on the front cover we have our title, Frogs. We have a picture. We also have the author. Remember, author is the person who writes the story. This is Elizabeth Carney. This part of the book is called the back cover, you're right, and this is the spine. And then if I turn it back to the front cover and open it up, look what I see. I see the title page. Awesome. And on the title page, I have the title again, Frogs, the author, Elizabeth Carney, and the publisher. That's who put this book together, and that is National Geographic. All right, when I open the book, I see this page. This page is called the Table of Contents. Remember, on the table of contents, it has all of the headings. Headings are those features that we see at the top of the pages that are big and bold, and you can see them. It tells you what all of the page is going to be about. Yes. So these are all the headings, and this is called the, what is it? Table of Contents. Good job. So right now, I told you to think, is this a fiction book or a nonfiction book? So let's think about that. We have a real picture of a frog or a fake frog. Real picture or fake? Think about that. We have a table of contents. Let's see what else we have. Splash! Splish splash. What is that sound? What is hopping and jumping around? What loves to swim? What loves to eat bugs? It's a frog. Can you hop like a frog? Try it. Try it. Hop, 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 hop. So sometimes our pictures have captions. This is called a Pacific chorus frog. Frogs live all over the world, except Antarctica. Frogs usually live in wet places. They like rivers, lakes, and ponds. Some captions. This is a marsh frog, and this is an Andean marsupial frog. Antarctica is our one of our words on here that they want to tell you about. It says Antarctica is the continent at the South Pole. But some frogs live in trees. Some even live in the desert. Frogs can be found all over the world, wherever they live. That's their habitat. Habitat is a ribbit word. So every story that looks like this has these bold words in there. And those are our vocabulary words, and they call them ribbit for this book. But the ribbit word is habitat, and it means that it's the natural place where a plant or animal lives, which we did learn about that in science. So habitat, the natural place where a plant or animal lives. This is the red-eyed tree frog, and this is a bullfrog. Croak! Look at this frog croaking. Some frogs' throats puff up when they make sounds. Each type of frog makes its own sound. This is a lake frog. The kokai frog is named after the sound that it makes. It's like, cookie! This frog is the size of a quarter. Even small frogs can make loud noises. Our ribbit word is croak. Croak is the deep, hoarse noise that a frog makes. Frogs can make different sounds for different reasons. Sometimes it's to warn other frogs of danger. Sometimes it's to call to frogs nearby. The caption for this one is called a dancing frog. Look at his move. This frog lives around noisy waterfalls. Other frogs would not be able to hear its calls, so it dances instead. It sticks out one leg and then the other. Can you dance like this frog? frog food. What is a frog's favorite food? Usually it's insects. Frogs eat dragonflies and crickets and other bugs. Look at them. Some frogs eat bigger animals like worms and mice. The American bullfrog even eats other frogs. So he's eating a mice up there. I love pictures because they give us so much details. They show what the words are telling us. What's that pink flash? It's how a frog catches bugs. It shoots out its long sticky tongue at a passing bug. The frog pulls the bug into its mouth. If your tongue were as long as a frog, it would reach to your belly button. That's a funny fact. Look how long. That's how he captures his food. Every size and color. Frogs can be many different sizes. The smallest frog is as big as a fingernail. The largest is as big as a rabbit. This is called a microfrog, and this is the Goliath frog. Frogs can be different colors too. Some are green or brown. Others have stripes or spots. Frogs can be red, yellow, or orange. They can even be bright blue. So they're different colors. Watch out! These colorful frogs may look pretty, but these frogs have poison in their skin. Their bright color warns enemies not to eat them. Poison dart frog. They're different colors. Yellow banded poison dart frog. So they're all poison dart frogs, but they have different colorings on them. And our ribbit word in here is poison, something that can kill or hurt living things. Ooh. This little frog is only an inch long. Its name is Terribilis, which means the terrible one. How did it get this name? By being the most deadly frog of all. One Terribilis has enough poison to kill 20,000 mice. He's tiny, but he's dangerous. Frog babies. All frogs, even the Terribilis, have mothers. Mother frogs lay eggs. When the eggs are ready, out pop the tadpoles. Tadpoles are baby frogs, but they don't look like frogs yet. Tadpoles have tails, and they live only in the water. Tadpoles grow up to be frogs. At first, they breathe underwater with gills. They grow lungs for breathing air. Lungs. Lungs. Do we have lungs? We do have lungs. So they don't start out with lungs, but they grow lungs. 3, they grow legs for hopping and swimming. And 4, in 3 months, they lose their tails. It's time to hop out of the water. The ribbit word is gills. Gills are the body part on the sides of a fish or a tadpole through which it breathes. So it starts out with gills, that's why it can breathe underwater, and then it grows lungs like us. Toads are frogs too. What's the difference between toads and frogs? Toads are a type of frog. Frogs spend most of their lives around water, and toads spend more time on dry land. Their bodies are built for wherever they live. So the difference is, can you remember the fact that we just heard? What's the difference between a frog and a toad? I want you to think about that. Frog. Some frogs are poisonous. Their skin is moist and smooth. Their teeth and upper jaw. They have long, powerful jumping legs. Most frogs have webbed hind feet. Eggs laid in clusters or groups, so they're eggs. A toad has no teeth. Its eyes does not bulge out from the body. A poison gland is located behind each eye. Dry and bumpy. Eggs laid in long chains, but a few toads give birth to their frogs. Shorter legs for walking. So, take a look at that page. And I want you to think about the things that were the same and different about them. Super frogs. A fake face fools enemies when this frog turns around. Here's a two-faced faker. It looks like he has two faces. Two heads are better than one. The high flyer, whoosh, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a gliding leapfrog. Any frog can jump, but watch out for me. Glide. The screamer, ah! Loudmouth frog leaves enemies stunned. Mr. Invisible. He's a master of disguise. Now you see him, now you don't. Does he remember there's a vocabulary word that describes that? What is he doing? If he blends in with his background, he is camouflaged. Good job. And that's the end of our story. So, at the end of our book, we have this. It has pictures with our vocabulary words in there again. We call this a picture glossary. Picture glossary because it has pictures with the words and it tells what each one of the words means again. So if you forget, you can always go back to the glossary and look that up to see what the words mean again. So think about that. Let me just go over the parts of the book real fast. So we have, on the front cover, we have a real or fake picture? A real picture of a frog. And we have a table of contents. We have headings at the top of each page, along with captions for some of the pictures. We have close-ups of different frogs. We have ribbit words, or those vocabulary words. And then we also have a picture glossary. So, do you think it's fiction or nonfiction?